right, you rocking with the realers. You already know what it is. Here we go. Late night. We kicking the new year off right. It's the weekend. Yeah, we kicking it off. We kicking it off. Rep your city. Rep your city. Represent your city. Of course, I am representing. Shout out to the Renac. Chirac is in the building. Shout out to everybody on Kick. Facebook, both of my Facebook accounts. Twitch and YouTube, okay? We got San Jose in the building. We got Greensboro in the building. We're doing it big, bringing in the new year. We got Minnesota in the building. We got Oakland, New Jersey, Indianapolis. We on fire tonight. Oh, yeah. Got my brother from Naptown holding it down. Big time music producer. Y'all got to go check him out. We got North Miami Beach in the building. Y'all already know how we do. Hi, baby girl. I talked to my daughter. I know she watching. She not watching for good reason. She trying to be my mama. I told her, oh, she said that blueberry wine, that blackberry wine you drinking look good. I said, yeah, I think I'm finna drink tonight. She said, Dad, don't. I said, but I got all this liquor for my birthday. I got all this liquor from my birthday from like 3 years ago. Just sitting here. I'm ready to knock some of it back. She said, don't. It's just been sitting here. I've been tapping some of it, but I don't remember when. Because I don't drink like that. She said, don't, but I got this Smirnoff. Because like I did, it's 28 days in my birthday. And who remember, I drank 28 different liquors. I drank a different liquor every day for my birthday. Right? Some of them I didn't drink much. I bought this. See, I bought this. I had bought this. Black Label. I don't even know what this stuff tastes like, but I drank it that day. I don't know. Then I bought this. Look, you can see I don't drink. Boy, if I drank, this would be gone, wouldn't it? So I ain't lying. Look, I bought this, 2-3 years ago? I forgot when I did it. Look at all this Patron. Boy, this Tron would have been gone. I bought this ginger rye. I did knock that back. I got 2 of those, though, because this is medicine. So, if I get a sniffle or something, this has got ginger in it. So I bought this one. One of these is for medicinal purposes. This is for medicinal purpose. I need to get me some peppermint and put some in a jar and put the peppermint in there and let it sit and put it in a dark closet. But yeah, I did knock this one back. I don't know when. I don't remember. Then I got the hen dog. I knocked that back. I don't remember it either. And I got the Belvedere. This used to be what I used to pop, the Belvedere, when I used to be at the club. This was my drink. Because this, this was cool when I got home with the queen at night. I was still in good shape to really do what I had to do. So I used to drink this with cranberry juice. So this was my club drink. Belvedere and cranberry juice. If they didn't have a Belvedere, I would get, I think, Grey Goose. But I preferred the Belvy. Look, you can see I don't drink. Look, I had this since my birthday. I told my daughter. Now this don't make no sense right here. This is mango with habanero. It's got a hot pepper in it. I can't mess with this. I can't. If I got a bad cold or something, I would definitely take a shot of it. This I can't mess with this. You see the pepper at the top floating? You see that? You see that? And this a mango's in the bottom. You see that pepper floating? Hey, this is crazy. You hear me? This is deadly. Yeah, this is hot, hot, hot. Mm-mm. This is dangerous. Ooh, this is something. If you like, this right here is a problem. Infused spirits, mango habanero flavored vodka. Ooh, it's horrible. It's strong. Yeah, if I got a cold, it would be this one or it would be the ginger rye. This one is a little rough with the ginger, but this one, I don't do hot stuff. You know, I don't know. Black women like hot stuff. I don't know what's up with them. They'll love it. Boy, one shot of this, you be on fire. Well, my daughter told me don't drink, but I still might later. And she said, I just had coffee, so I ain't supposed to drink on that caffeine. That's what she said. She said, I ain't supposed to drink on. I ain't supposed to drink on the caffeine. Look, I got a whole bottle of Trummy. Hey, I remember when this first came out, we was on something, boy. Boy, you in the club. Oh, the whole bottle of the Trummy. I ain't even touched it, boy. Boy, these supposed to be gone, boy. If I was really on living that life, boy, I would have sipped this. This would be gone on myself. And these was like the last days I was running out. I didn't know what to get. I was in the liquor store like, what to get? I got everything. And I had got the black label. Let me get the black label. I got the Smirnoff and a couple of other ones because I was running. It was hard to find 28 different liquors at the store. At the liquor store that was close. I started going to the little bar before they closed. And I'm like, dang, I got that one. I did that one. I did that one. That was hard. I might do that again on my 70th birthday. I might do it on my 70th birthday. 28 liquors in 28 days. Yeah, I forgot what birthday that was. That hot one is crazy, though. Real talk. So tonight I'm doing a little extraterrestrial conversations. Talk about some cosmic stuff. I'm going to start off where I left off. I'm going to start off in Hawaii. I'm going to tell that story again for the people that didn't see it. Then I'm going to go into some other extraterrestrial and spaceman type conversations. And, you'll be able to ask me all type of questions. You got the Morgan David wine. Yeah, that's what's up, Monique. Monique love water. You added clothes to it. Oh, that's interesting. So, yeah, today we on it. I'm probably going to drink some liquor, though, before I end this live. But right now, I'm drinking some 4T. Thanks, daughter. Dad, drink some more tea. Okay, I'm going to drink some tea. I drink my tea. JW12, good scotch. Okay, yeah, I got to check it out. I gotta check it out. I need to go and get me 2 bottles of this vegan Bailey's because they stopped making it. But at one of these stores, they got a couple bottles. I should just buy them. But ain't no telling how long they last. It might go bad before I use it. Because you know, when I go in the club, the Jamaicans used to drink the Baileys. But the Baileys got the milk in it. So, you know, I couldn't really drink it. I couldn't really drink the Baileys like I wanted to because it was like dairy. I remember, boy, a lot of Russell was pissed when we found out that they had put fish guts in a Guinness Stout. They took it out, but it's like it's too late. We already been drinking fish guts. Y'all, boy, I'm telling you, they bogus out here. They was giving us fish guts. Man, Russell's was pissed. Like the vegetarian and vegan Russell's, boy, they didn't like that. We should have sued. We should have someone thinking we should have got a class action suit and got their ass. Boy, we be missing money on the table. We should have sued Guinness Stout for that. They didn't have it on the ingredients. We should have sued them. Damn, boy, we missed a bag. Yeah, we should have sued them. So tonight we're going to talk some extraterrestrial stuff. I've been through a lot of extraterrestrial situations, spooky situations. I'm going to go through some of them. The first one I'm going to cover is going to be about when I left Oahu and went to the Big Island. We went to the Big Island, had the van fixed up in Oahu. We got to the Big Island. We had to wait for the van to come over. Rum and Coke. Rum and Coke was my rum and Coke was like when I was like, I think like 19, 20. 19, 20, I was doing, when I was 19 or 20 years old, I was doing the rum and Coke. I started drinking, I think in the 5th grade. Yeah, in the 5th grade, I started drinking. We was drinking vodka and orange juice. Yeah. So in the 5th grade, we was drinking vodka and orange juice. I smoking Newports, pop. I think you go Newports, Salem, then Cool. So yeah, we start out with the ports, with the Newports and the vodka and orange juice. We be getting yucky, you know, in the 5th grade. In the 6th grade, we was beginning to do like the Boone's Farm. What else? We was still doing the vodka and orange juice, and the Boone's Farm came out. Then 7th grade, you know, we step our game up, so we doing the mixed drinks, you know, we doing the Brick of Ricky, the Richard's Wild Irish Rose, bop bop, you know what I'm saying? The Brick of Ricky. So anytime you gotta go somewhere, you think it's gonna be smoke, you drink the Ricky. That's the fighting. That's like the hen dog. That's like the Hennessy. So if we go to a school where we think they want to fight, we drink. We get a couple bricks of Ricky. Call it a Brick of Ricky because the bottle looked like a brick. Richard's Wild Irish Rose. And then in the 8th grade, we started drinking the big bowls where you would put all the mixes together in a bowl. So you drink rum and Coke. So you put some rum, you put some Coke in the bowl. You drink vodka and orange juice. You put orange juice and vodka. You drink Richards White Ivy Rose and 7 Up. Put that in there. You drink uh what was the other mix? There's another mix. Every drink, whatever you white pork and Kool-Aid, white pork and a bag of Kool-Aid, but every combination you put in a big bowl at a party. We kids though, we only in the 8th grade. You mix it up. And it actually tastes good. You would think that tastes nasty, but it'd be good, boy. We be gone. And then when I got to a freshman, I stopped smoking. I quit smoking because I started, chiefing. So I put the tobacco down. I was like, oh, ain't no need of smoking this. I need to switch to this. Imagine quit smoking in your freshman year. By the time I got like grown, 18, which what was we drinking? I don't know what I was drinking at 18. I don't remember. When I was going to all the parties from 18 to like 18 or like 20. I was going to them 30 and over parties when I was like 19, 20. They didn't want to let me in though. I forgot what I was drinking though. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the moms, the G&H moms. We drinking the moms in like what grade is that? We drinking the mom champagne like when we drinking the moms. Fifi passed. Think maybe a freshman year we started drinking the G&H moms. I remember I was hanging out with Nick and Nick like, let's go get some moms. And we went and bought some moms. It was $25. The bums used to have to buy because we weren't old enough. You go get them $25. Give us a bottle of G&H moms. And they're like, the bums used to be like, where you little asses here? Where y'all get $25 for champagne? And y'all ain't even 19 years old. This don't make no sense. Brass Monkey, I didn't really drink it. I drank some, but I didn't really drink it regularly. I tasted it though. I tasted it. It wasn't a regular. Cause like I said, I started drinking in the 5th grade. So by the time I got by the time I was a sophomore, I wasn't drinking as much. I was chiefing more and drinking maybe a little beer. And then when I started going to the clubs, when I got out of high school, I would just have like a cocktail. I wasn't really a drinker. So I kind of faded out from that because I started so early. Like I said, we was drinking in 5th grade. We was getting scummy. So when most people started drinking as older, I was already quitting. I started doing all that stuff as a baby, smoking cigarettes and drinking in the 5th grade, shooting dice. I started early. Which was good because I quit early. I think that's the year. Yeah. And that's the 5th grade. I think so. How old are you in the 5th grade? However old I was, however old you are in the 5th grade, that's when I started drinking. Yeah, I was probably 10. Me and all my friends. We started smoking and drinking in the 5th grade. Yeah, Michael. I started drinking and smoking in the 5th grade, shooting dice. Got my first tailor-made suit in the 6th grade. I mean, and like we wasn't doing no throwing up and acting crazy or nothing. Real talk. We weren't like sloppy and all. No, we was straight like adults. On my soul, I swear to God, we wasn't sloppy. We was like gangsters already. We was drinking and we was still straight. We wasn't like, no, no, we was still regular. Imagine that. We was outside though, walking up and down the street and trying to talk to some of the girls. It was hard to talk to girls back then. Their daddies used to protect them. So we just be at night just up and down the street trying to make sure the big boys don't catch us. Yeah, we was just chilling. We wasn't even, that's crazy when you think about it. We wasn't doing nothing crazy or nothing. We wasn't destroying no property. We wasn't throwing up or nothing. And go home and your mama didn't even know you was drinking. Boy, you know how powerful that is. But do you know we used to buy the Banaka, pop, pop, and the Visine, boop, boop in your eyes. You got to be old school to remember Banaka, mouth drops, pop, pop. So tonight we're going to go on some extraterrestrial type stuff, right? First story I'm going to start with is how we went inside and not smell like alcohol. We used to spray, pop, pop, pop. We used to spray cologne on us, ah. Because like we was already going to clubs, stepping with girls and stuff, and going to Soul Train. So we was already putting on cologne and dressing up. So we just spray on some cologne. First off, when we drink, let's say we start drinking around 7 in the evening. By the time we go in, it's like 10 o'clock. So it didn't kind of wore off. You know what I'm saying? It didn't kind of wore off. Like I said, we would spray cologne, Banaka, eye drops. And like when you walk in your house, if your mom in the kitchen, she say, hey, hey, and you just get to your room. You don't socialize. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to spin mommy. Boom, when you see mommy, you, hey, mom, and to your bedroom. You don't get close to her. You see what I'm saying? You don't get going. You've been smoking weed. You don't get close to mommy. Y'all got to know how to do this. You don't get close to mommy. You don't talk or nothing. You, boom, hey, act normal and get to your bedroom quick. And once you get to your bedroom, you're good. You can put on some deodorant, blah, 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 wash your face. You good. If she do come in the room, she can't tell nothing. Mommy over there washing the dishes. Here's the table. Here you. Hey, Mom. Straight to your room. Close the door. Boom. Play the records. She don't suspect nothing. But you really not going to smell the liquor with the orange juice. You're not going to really smell that vodka and orange juice like if it's just vodka. Real talk. If it's vodka and orange juice, you ain't going to smell it like that. Think about it. Because it's cut. Now, if it was probably just straight vodka, yeah, you probably would smell it. And we outside too. And we outside. We outside up and down the block, so it's fresh air. Know what I mean? You outside, so that smell ain't gonna stay on you after summertime outside. Real talk. So I'm gonna start back then. So the first spooky stuff was we used to play this crazy. They used to have this seance type game. I forgot what that thing was called. And they would go and you would pull cards and put your hands on this thing and it would read your fortune and stuff. Who remember what that was called? That was the first time we started doing creepy stuff. I didn't like doing that. I forgot the name of that game we used to play. Was it not a Ouija board? It's something else. What's that thing called? And all the kids put their hand on it, and then it moved to where it's supposed to move and all that. Remember that weird thing? But my first extraterrestrial experience was when I was a kid, right? And I'm outside with the kids and they say, if you say the Lord's Prayer backwards, the devil will come, right? Now, I didn't do it right because you're really not supposed to say it backwards. You're just supposed to say the opposite, right? So if it say thou that art in heaven, you're supposed to say that's not in heaven. But I don't know. I didn't know. So I got the Lord's Prayer and start reading it backwards, right? So I want to try this like a fool. So I'm in my bedroom. My mother's room's the next room. My mother and father's room there. I'm in this room. It's a mirror, a little mirror. But I'm not really looking at it, but I just happen to be where it's at, right? On everything I love. So I started reading the Lord's Prayer backwards. And once I got so far, I seen something red trying to materialize. You know, like in Star Trek? That's the only thing I could relate it to. It wasn't like that, but that's the closest I relate to. Something was trying to materialize. And then I read a couple more lines, and it started to come in stronger. It scared the hell out of me. I read it forward 5 times. I believe it was really the devil trying to come in my room or something dark. I swear on everything. I was a kid. I'm too young to lie, right? This is a fact. I did that stupid stuff and started reading that backwards, and I seen something flashing trying to materialize. It was the size of a person. It was taller than me, but I didn't let it materialize. It spooked the hell out of me. I seen it. I was so scared. I started reading it forward a whole bunch of times. I never did that. I said, what the hell's wrong with you? If that thing would have came in my room, it probably would have unalived me. My mother probably would have found me unalive, and they would have not known. They would have probably said it's from this or it's from that. That was my first time having like an extraterrestrial type experience. That thing tried to materialize in my room. I was little too. I must have been about in the 5th grade, 4th or 5th grade. I was little. I wasn't in high school. I was in grade school. Man, that was super scary. It was coming. First, it was like electricity. And I read a couple lines, and then it came in clearer. It was like a reddish with like a dark with the reddish like outline. And I think that was just it trying to materialize. It probably ain't that color, but that was probably the color of it trying to transform into my room. Man, look, I would never do that no more. And I found out I wasn't even doing it right. But I talked to this sorcerer, this old dude that was really into the Bible and stuff. And I told him, and he said, it was going to come anyway just because you was playing. That's what he said. He said, no, you didn't do it right. You were supposed to say, Our Father, which is not in heaven, hallowed not be thy name. That's what you're supposed to say, the opposite. But he said the fact you was playing with the dark side, they said, when you play like that, it was going to come anyway. Just for you playing. And he told me, don't play like that. That's what he told me. This was a righteous brother, but he was like one of these magician type, righteous type sorcerers. He told me, he said, don't ever play like that. I said, you think it was real? He said, hell yeah, it was real. You was playing. It was going to come get you. That's what he told me. It was an older brother. Because he asked me, he said, you don't be doing seances and stuff. I said, no. I said, but one time I got in and I was reading the Lord's Prayer backwards. I seen something materialize. He said, fool, you was doing what? I said, I was reading. He said, tell me what happened. I said, I was reading. When I got so far, I seen something go, And then I kept reading, and then I seen it come in even clearer, and it scared me. He said, yeah, if you would have read a few more lines, it would have totally materialized. He said, your mother wouldn't have known what happened to you. You might not have been there when she got up. And he said it would have been a thing where it might have took you and then opened the door downstairs to make her think you left. But the whole time you be gone for real. He said, and I know he wasn't lying. That was the first time I had like that type of that was the first time I began to realize there's other things here for real. No matter what nobody tell you, there are things here. There's righteous things here, and there's evil things here. That's for real. There's real guardian angels here, and there's real demons here. No if and all other kind of creatures. All type of creatures are on this planet moving around. And a lot of the creatures, they like privacy, so they out in the wilderness. They out where no people ever be. Real talk. I kid you not. It's all type of creatures here. Some of the creatures like Dogman and stuff like that, those is like prehistoric like creatures. So they ain't necessarily evil. They just like a animal type that has been avoiding man seeing them. Then some stuff is stuff that was like cursed, like werewolves. Werewolves and like vampires. These is things that have been scratched or bit by something, and now they have transmitted that blood, and then they become that. Real talk. Like it's a lot of when I was in the county jail, I met a brother. We got a place called Lawrence Fishery. And you can go downtown and then you like go over some bridges. And it's right there, and it's all the bridges where the Chicago River run, but it's dark. And it's the gloomy part. The Chicago River is nice when you go back towards downtown, but when you go back up in there, it's like haunted. It's like haunted back up in there. No real good lighting. It's dark and all that. And this brother was not lying. So I was locked up with a brother at the county jail. He said, Pharaoh, I swear on everything. He said him and his family and now went to Lawrence Fishery. You park on this side of the street. He said he was waiting in the car. He had to pee. So he said, I got to get something so I could show. Man, he said, maybe this might work. He said, so he said, Pharaoh, I go to the bridge, bro. He said, I'm peeing over in the water and stuff by the bridge. You say, it's dark and spooky there. So he said, I hear all this water falling. You know what I'm saying? Like water falling off of something like, so he said he looked down there and he see a big old round thing. Fat, right? Round, big. And it's coming up like this, right? So he ain't paying no attention. He said it looked like a big old piece of rubber, but real big. It looked like machinery. So he think it's a big piece of machinery that they under there lifting up some machinery. So he said it kept coming up. I wish I had something round. Hold on. Man, I need something round. So he said it kept coming up like this, right? Right? About the water, right? So he said it came all the way up out the water like this, right? He said it was big and round, but it looked like a big giant piece of rubber for some type of electronical work or something they probably had down in the river. He said then when it came up like that, real big like that, then he said the head popped up and it was a big serpent. That was his middle part raised up. Then he said, Pharaoh, then the head came up. And he's like, it was a big ass, like sea serpent. It was big, he said. He said it was like a big giant snake. I'm talking about, he said like a building. Like a dinosaur head. Yeah. He said when the head came up, this was his word. That's why I knew he went on. He said, Pharaoh, I swear on everything. When the head came up, because I never seen nothing like that, he said, I almost died. That's what he said. He said, I almost died right there. That's what he said. He said, Pharaoh, I swear to God, I almost died. I said, what you mean almost died? He's like, no, really, I almost died. It was shock and the scare. It shocked my body. Almost like a stroke or a heart attack. He said straight up. Like he said, when they hear you say, he said, after that, I always thought about when people said scared me to death. He said, I thought people were just playing when they said that. He said, man, that thing almost scared me to death. And I said, I believe you, because if it's going to be some kind of serpent, it's definitely going to be over there, because I never liked it over there. These places where stuff like vampires and werewolves be, when you go in those areas, you feel creepy, even if you don't see nothing. And I know he wasn't lying, because I do not like it over there. It's creepy over there. And it's dark. And if there's any type of reptile that's going to hide in the water, it's definitely going to be over there. Because it ain't no street lights or nothing. It's a place where a sea serpent would definitely be over there. So I knew he wasn't lying. Because like I told him, I said, bro, I never like it over there. He said, me neither. He said, a lot of people say that when they go over there to Lawrence, it's just creepy right there where all them bridges at. Man, it looked like a horror picture where them bridges is at. Even in the daytime, it's creepy. But at night, it's frightening over there. Real talk. I knew he wasn't lying. It is so creepy over there. You could feel, you could feel the presence of these things, man. You could feel them. You could feel them. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I really didn't have no whole bunch of experiences other than reading that thing backwards until I started traveling. Unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think I'm forgetting that. When I started traveling, though, going to L.A., and going to Hawaii, that's when I started having crazy stuff. Like when we was in L.A., me and my boy Kepper, we used to be making our own incense and stuff. So you go to the neighborhood, you can get bottles of oils and stuff, but we was making so much money that we was going to the Bell May West, the people that sell oil, Avon and stuff like that. So we was getting them big, them big plastic jugs that almost look like a gas can. We was getting that much oil, right? So we can make thousands of packs of incense. We sell hundreds a day. And so in LA, y'all support the channel. Thanks for the support. In LA, you gotta take the bus to get certain places. And the bus take the freeway. So LA was the first place where I seen the city bus get on the freeway. Boom. So we had to take a city bus on the street and get off and go down on the freeway and catch the bus on the freeway to take us out to Van Nuys, I think, where the place was at. So when you get off the bus on the street, you up here, right? And then you got to go down all these stairs a long way, and then you wait on the freeway down here. So it's some high stairs, right? So it's way up there where the crosswalk in the street go. So me and my boy Kepper, we standing down there waiting on the bus, right? We some young rosters. You can see we got on our, you can see our dreads, and you can see we like some ancient Coptic Christian type. You can see we like some young holy men. This was creepy. So it was this lady, this young lady. She was around the same age we were. She was in her 20s. So she walking way up there across the overpass on the freeway. But when she get to the stairs, she come all the way down them stairs, right? She dressed in goth and all this. She come all the way down them stairs and she come right to us. And she came to us and she gave us 2 flyers. And then she went all the way back up them stairs and back on the street and walked away. We look at the flyer, and it's an invitation to some type of satanic gathering, right? On my soul, that was some creepy shit. Because what made that lady see us way, I'm talking about high. This is in LA, so I ain't talking about like the typical overpass. This overpass was way higher than how far we was down on the freeway. So she far up there. It creeped us out that lady seen us and walked all out of her way, all the way down all the way down the stairs to give us 2 flyers to some satanic ritual party. That was creepy. That's still creepy today, right? So we was like, ain't no way we going to that. So like I think like the next day, one of the elder rosters, I told him, I said, yeah, this lady came, she walked all the way down. She gave us the flyer to come. He said, she seen y'all was too right. Y'all was on the righteous side. So she invited y'all for dinner. And y'all was going to be the dinner, he said. He said, Rasta, she seen that you and the virgin was righteous to see your light shining. So she come to invite you to dinner. And you too was the dinner. I said, hell no. And I remember he told me, he said, listen to me, my youth. He said, listen. He said, when some doors, when you walk through them, you never walk back out. So what he said, you got to watch the things you go to. Because some things you go to, you're never going to be seen again, he said. I said, are you see? He said, yeah, man. If y'all would have went to that thing, you never would have been seen again. Yep, he said, she knew y'all wasn't dark. I said, get the hell out of here. That was creepy. She was weird looking. What was creepy about is how far she was before she seen us. And the fact she came all the way. I was like, what the hell? That was deep. So next thing you know, time go. I decided we're gonna go to Hawaii. We're gonna go to Hawaii, China, India, East Africa. So we meet a brother from Hawaii, hook it up. He go back, contact, boom, go to Hawaii. Now we live in Hawaii. We on Oahu, Waikiki, and all that set. So I found out you can grow on the Big Island. So we got a van that we purchased out there, took it to Firestone, had our new tires, everything put on it, and we went to the Big Island. Do I believe in leprechauns? My mother was born in Alabama, and her and my grandmother lived in Birmingham, when my grandmother broke up with my grandfather, and she married somebody else, and my mother lived with her. So when my mother was walking home from school one day, she seen a leprechaun in a tree. A little green man. And she said when she walked, the little man said, psst, hey, little girl. And my mother said she was scared. She ran. And she went to my grandmother. This is a deep story. And she told my grandmama, she said, Mama, it was a little green man in that tree. And he called me. And my grandmama say, he ain't gonna bother you. What does that sound like? My grandmother told my mother, oh, he ain't gonna bother you. So my mother, I would say, she could not believe that her mother knew that thing was out there. She said, Granny knew that thing was there. She said the way she responded to her was like she knew he was there. Tell me that ain't deep. My granny said, "Oh, he ain't gonna bother you. He ain't gonna bother nobody." That's what she said. Tell me that ain't crazy. What she told my mother. My mother said, "That's how I knew it was real." I wasn't a great gazoo. It was a leprechaun. It was one of them. It's a bunch of them. That was just one of them. My mother told me this other story. There was a lady down in Alabama, and the word was going around Alabama that she was having relationships with the bull. So the word was that she was going in the bar doing stuff with the bull. So the lady got pregnant. Everybody think it's by a man though, because the story just like a rumor. She had a baby. She had a daughter. And my mother said when the daughter was born, half of the daughter's face was like a human, and the other half was like cowhide. And the side with the cowhide, her eye was way down here. So one eye was right there, like it's supposed to be, on the human side, and on the cow side, she said the little girl eye was way down there. And them people don't be lying. This is my mama from down in Alabama. She seen the girl. She said the girl. That's when the rumors was like, oh my God. The girl had a half human face, and this side of the face was like all cowhide, and her eye was way down here, my mother said, on this side. Now you tell me that ain't creepy. So boom, back to LA, boom, we go to Hawaii. We on Oahu, boom, we move over to the big island. We get to the big island, we gotta wait for the van to come. The van come, we jump in the van, boom, let's drive around the island. So we jump in the van, we go to drive around the island. When we get all the way to what they say is the furthest point in the U.S., the van just cut off. I didn't know. If I would have knew, I would have knew it was the alternator, right? Which means it was running off the battery. The alternator stopped, it was running off the battery. I know that now, but back then I was young. I didn't know all that. So the van just turned off, right? So we on the side of the road. We just got to the big island. So eventually some Hawaiians stopped. They tried to help us get it started. They said, we can't get it started, but you got to get off this road. So it's a park right across the street. Right across the street, there's an entrance to a park, like a rest stop park. So they pushed our van up into the rest stop park, right? So we go in there. In Hawaii, they got like pavilions with electricity. Like pavilions that's like outside with like picnic tables under them. And it's electricity, free electricity. And then it's got showers because when you swim in the ocean and you get out the ocean, you got to rinse the salt water off. So there's free showers, hot and cold water, 24 hours, and there's electricity. So we plugging up, listening to our reggae and stuff. We run into some locals, they give us some smoke. So there's a health food store. We can hitchhike and go and come back. So we just kind of lived there for a while, right? We gotta just live at this park in Hawaii. We enjoying life. I'm cooking outside. Got my pot. The Trinidadians had taught me how to cook outside, so I'm cooking outside, Rasta style. Got a clay pot that you know what I'm saying, that I had bought from Oahu, a clay pot that I bought from Chinatown, because they showed me how to get the clay pot and cure it so it won't break. So one day we out here cooking. So it's like we right here cooking, and then you walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's like some little short bushes with opening, and you can see the ocean, and it's the beach. And there's like trees over here, but there's a part where you can walk through where it's just like low bushes. So my queen and her daughter say, Ramesses, me and Kiara, we finna go to the beach. I say, cool. So they go right to the beach. So if you run to the beach, if you run to the first sand where you can see them, you're gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're gonna be there and you can see them because they're like right there. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 feet, 20, 25 feet, and then you can go through, then you can see them, and then maybe another 15 feet or 20 feet down to the sand, but you can see them right there. You can talk to them. So I'm there cooking, and my queen say, Ramesses! So me and Kepler take off. Boom, 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 boom. We run. 1, 2, 3, I'm there, right? I come through. I just see her and her daughter, my stepdaughter. So I stop running. I walk up to her. I say, what? She say, it was this strange lady. She had she said, I think she had white hair and white clothes, and she had a little dog. So now when you look down the beach is like this. There's nothing. There's no bushes to go in or nothing. It's just sand all the way down because it's Hawaii. It's an island. So there is nothing to stop. The beach don't stop. It go out of red. So as far as so this was an older lady. So when we get there, there's no lady. There's nobody. So we standing there for a minute, right? And we said, where is the lady? Where is the lady? Where is the lady? We don't see the lady. There's nowhere for her to go. It's just sand. There's no trees around here or nothing to go in. That little area only had trees because that's where the parking lot and stuff was. The rest is just beach. So there's no lady. So we bewildered. Because the way she hollered, she definitely seen the lady. And her daughter was there. They both seen the lady with the little dog. So we're like, well, so we ain't tripping over the lady with the little dog. We tripping where she disappeared to. So after so many minutes, we're like, okay, we just went back, started cooking, do our thing. Time go a couple of weeks or so. We fixed the van. Boom, we out of there. We fixed the van. We out of there. We go. We end up running into Shay Shay, the guy that I met that got us over to the Oahu. Now he on the Big Island too. We go. Boom. We live up on Black Sand Beach. We there at Black Sand Beach. We stay there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever. 9 weeks go by. Boom. Then a brother named Fred said, "Hey, y'all can come to my property. You could grow at my property, right?" So we go to Fred's house. I'm growing. Got my plants. My plants is doing great. So Hawaii got 2 volcanoes. Got Kilauea and they got Mauna Loa. And Kilauea started going off every month from when I got there. So from the time I got to the other island, Kilauea was going off every month. But then the big one, Mauna Loa, went off. So we got 2 volcanoes going up. Now, Kilauea ain't causing no major problem because the lava's going up and coming down and going into the ocean. But Mauna Loa The big one, the lava's coming out, and it's headed to the town. Hilo. It's headed to wipe out the town. So every day they're like, oh, it's this many miles away. Then, oh, it's that many miles away. And they scared because the lava comes out and the lava runs real slow. And it blows up all the trees and it clears the path and it goes real slow and it just keep going. But the danger is there's another lava. And that's what they was worried about. There's one that runs like mercury. So they worried that when that first slow lava come out and clear this long road, they worried that the other mercury lava come out, it's going to run and hit the town like that. It's fast. You can't outrun that one. There's a lot of people don't know about the hot lava. There's a slow lava, then there's the one like mercury. And when it comes, you done. You can't get away. So every day they announce it's getting closer. So when you grow an herb, you can't water it when it's hot, it'll wilt. So you have to water it early in the morning, and then you have to water it when the sun not so hot in the evening. So I had to go out and water my herb. Not only do I have to water my herb, I got to put my rat traps out there because at night the rats would come and my younger plants, the rats and stuff like that, every animal like a different part of the herb. And the rats like the stalk, the green stalk when it's young. So you got a nice plant about this tall. You come and land on the ground where they ate through the stalk and eat the stalk. So I had to put rat traps out there every night. And the spooky thing about that, now that's spooky too. This is a spooky story too. So I go out, I put like 12 rat traps out at night. Now, for the story to make sense, I got to tell you the backstory. When the Portuguese came to Hawaii, they brought rats with them. So there ended up being a rat infestation because the rats got off the ship. So as they started doing agriculture stuff, they said, how can we stop this rat plague? So somebody suggested bring mongoose. So they went to certain islands and they got mongoose and they brought the mongoose over, right? But here's the problem. The rats come out at night and the mongoose come out in the day. So they never cross paths, so the mongoose didn't kill the rats. I had to tell that for this to make story. So at night, the rats would come and eat my stock. So I would put rat traps, big, they not mouse traps, rat traps big. These be some big rats like this. I would put rat traps by all my plants with some fish emulsion. Fish emulsion is like a fertilizer for the plants, but it smells like fish, they're going to come. Put a little piece of cheese and some fish emulsion on it. So every morning when I would get up, the traps would be then pop, and there would be a rat's head in it. That's all would be in it. Because when the traps kill the rats at night, at 4 in the morning, when the sun started coming, the mongoose would come and eat all the rats out the trap. That was like a horror. Hey, you can't make this stuff up now. That was like a horror movie. Imagine getting up and seeing just the rat heads and the whole body ate, and these is big rats. So imagine these mongooses, vicious, ain't they? Not a rat nowhere, just rat heads in every trap. So I was catching them, and the mongoose was getting up in the morning. It was free dinner for them. Wasn't a rat nowhere, just their head. So I had to open the rat trap and drop their head out. Hey. So this night, both volcanoes going off. Boom, 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 right? Boom, 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 boom. This one running that one. So the sun is on, the sky is orange because Mauna Loa is the big mountain. So the sky is orange. Kilauea going off, Mauna Loa going off. So I'm watering at night. Plus, you want to be out there at night so the helicopters can't see you and all that. This is illegal, right? So I'm outside watering them, and all of a sudden, something went boom, 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 boom. And the whole top of the universe went up in the air and landed. Like at night, that dark black part you see, it's a circle. When you go to the end of this galaxy, we are inside a big ass ball. I seen it. It did this. Boom. You can see the light go. And the light on the other side of space, the dark part, it's a different kind of light. It makes me think that's probably what they be talking about heaven, where ain't no day or night. I'm telling you, it's a different kind of light over there. It's a different kind of light. We don't got that light over here. And I seen it because you got peripheral view. The whole top came off, like boom, 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 boom. You can see the light because it was at night. So I'm like, whoa, whoa. I went and told my queen, I seen space open. I didn't know how to describe it. I said, I seen outer space open. We in a big old circle. Way out. It's far too. Ain't no telling how far that was away. On my soul. So the next morning, the newspaper come out, right? The newspaper come out. And all in the newspaper is everybody seen. They said it's a picture of the lava. And it makes a woman's face and hair and everything. I can't find that picture. It's clearly a woman. Hair, face, lips, eyes, everything. And they saying, this is the Hawaiian god Pele. Now, we haven't heard of Pele. We haven't been there long enough. So the newspaper is saying the lava came out and drew Pele. Yes. He right. I seen the dome open. I seen it open. So the lava came out and made a woman's face with the hair, right? So we looking at the paper, we like, whoa, whoa. I never heard of Pele. This is the Hawaiian god. It's a goddess named Pele. So we read the news article. So we read the news article and say people been seeing flying spaceships with aliens in it. And they said people all over the island been seeing Pele. And it says, and Pele is a woman with white hair and a little dog. That's when my queen said, that's the lady was at the beach. Facts. Imagine 9-10 months later, she says she's seen this lady. We ain't thinking about it. We don't know nothing about Pele. This how you know this shit is true. When she seen it, we don't know nothing about a Pele. We just thought it was a woman. She said she seen a woman, and we was just tripping over how the hell the woman disappeared. And she says a woman with a little dog, woman with white hair and a little dog. We blew it off. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? We went on. Imagine many months later, reading a newspaper, and they saying the Hawaiian god Pele is a woman with white hair and a little dog. That's when we said that was the lady at the beach. I swear to God, she's seen that lady. She seen that lady and told us, and we had just got to the island. We didn't know none of that stuff. We didn't even know that was nothing spooky. We was just tripping on where the lady disappeared. We kind of just blew it off. Because like, well, where'd she go? There was nowhere to go. But we couldn't figure it out, so we just went on with our day and went on with our life. We never thought about that lady no more. Because we didn't know nothing about Pele. But now we looking at this picture of Pele in the lava, and then we read the newspaper, and man, I'll never forget that day. And when I read it, say, it's a lady with white hair and a little dog. Me and my boy and my queen and her daughter, we said, that was the lady on the beach, was the goddess Pele. My two oldest sons, they weren't born yet. They mama seen Pele. That is a fact. Because she hollered for us to come, and we don't know nothing. So it ain't no way we're going to make this story up because we don't know the story to make up. Now, if we would have knew about Pele, she said, I seen a lady with white, yeah, but we don't know nothing. We just got there. We from L.A. So how's she going to make up a story? She seen a lady with white hair and a little dog, and the lady just disappeared. And months later, it's in the newspaper. Everybody's seeing this lady with this white hair and this little dog. Look, that was the day when my whole consciousness went to a whole nother level. Because I had a bunch of brethren from Trinidad telling me about vampires and witches out there and all that. I had brothers from Africa telling me all kind of stories. But it's one thing for somebody to tell you something. But it's another thing to see it. And so now this being the next morning after I seen the sky open up, all my past concepts I had learned, I had to reevaluate everything. I started thinking about the Bible. And I said, oh, it tells us this right in the Bible. It say, it's God say, thou shalt not worship no other God before me. So I was like, oh, there are other gods. Yes, it raised my conscience because I was like, there are other gods. You're just not supposed to worship them before the Most High God. Think about it. God didn't say it ain't no other gods. It said, don't worship them before me. Don't worship no other gods. Why would God say don't worship no other gods unless there's other gods? So that's when I started saying, oh, okay. That God they got is real. Pele is 1,000,000,000% real. And her face be coming up in the lava all the time because they had her picture in the lava, but I can't find that picture of her in the lava. I can't find that picture of her in the lava. But I tell you this, look at this. Let me take a break. Y'all stare at that. Stare at that for a minute. All these pictures are before AI. Okay? These is old pictures. There was no AI back then when the people took these pictures. These pictures is from the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s. And tell me you don't see a woman's face. What you see right there in that fire? What you see right there? You see that lady's face? What you see right there? You know, you see a Polynesian woman in a lava rock? Do you see a Polynesian woman in a lava rock? Real talk. I kid you not. And I can't even see this one. They keep saying she in this picture, but I don't see her. But y'all might see her. I don't see her. Maybe I don't got a good angle or something. Because I don't know why I don't see her. But they say she in this picture. I don't see her though. So look, I lived up in the mountains in Glenwood, right here. This is me in the jungles, growing my herb. The next subdivision up is Volcano, right? So the next subdivision up is Volcano. So one day, this is Kilauea, not Mauna Loa. Kilauea was going off. I had a friend, I called him Jungle. He lived there. So he lived right where we could go up and we could see, we could see the lava. So the lava running down this way, we back there, back over there. But we could see it when it's shooting up. This is not it's shooting up. But we can see the lava when it's shooting up. Right? Because we live back there and it's running down into the ocean. So I go up there to look at it one night. Tourists would be parked all on the road to see the lava, right? Real talk. So we go up there to look at it. Boom, it's shooting up. It's shooting up this orange lava, right? It's going that way. We standing here because he lived right up there where you could see it good. So I'm looking at the volcano, right? And it's just, this is heavy. And so when you look at the lava, it's this orange stuff. And when you look at it, you can feel like, you can feel it. Man, it's like looking at God. That's the only thing I could compare it to. Y'all, I ain't lying. So I'm looking at the lava shooting up, right? And we close, so you could see it. It's shooting up, but it's running that way, so we ain't in no danger. We up higher, and this right here, so it's not gonna run back this way. The only way we would have been dead, if it would have exploded, yeah, we would have been messed up. But it was just shooting out and running down. So I'm looking at it, right? And it's hypnotized me. I swear to God, it hypnotized me. My boy live up there said, Pharaoh, don't stare at it. I'm telling you, don't stare at it. I ain't understand what he's saying, but I was just staring. I was hypnotized. There is nothing you're going to see in this world like that lava. Nothing. Not a tornado, not a hurricane. It's nothing going to blow your mind like that lava. So I'm staring at it. It's like, rrr, 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 rrr. So boom, eventually we go home. I go to sleep. When I wake up the next day, my body going, rrr, 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 rrr. My body. My stomach is nauseous and my body's doing this. And that's what my body feel like. Real talk. My body's doing that for like hours. You know, let's say you wake up at 8. My body's doing that till like 6, 7 that evening. I swear to God, it's like, it did something to me. My body was going, I had this weird nauseous feeling. Now, we ain't smelling no smoke or nothing. There's no smoke or nothing. It's going that way. But staring at that thing, it got my body going. That's how powerful that lava, whatever that vibe is. That's why I say, man, once I came from Hawaii, man, I had a whole nother concept about it. A lot of stuff. It's like, I can't even explain it to you. So, what happens is, it shoots out. It shoots out like, I don't know if it was that time or the next time, but it shoots out. Boom! And it shoots out what they call Pele's hair. We don't hear it, we don't know. But when we wake up in the morning, Pele's hair is over the whole forest where I live, all over my plants. We covered up. We got tarps and stuff, but it's all over the roof of the tarp. It's all on the ground. Pele's hair. And look, this is creepy too. And Pele's hair is like some little bitty pieces of glass hair. It's glass. It's real little. It's thinner than a needle, and it's glass, and it's everywhere. If it get in your eye or get in your lungs or whatever, you're going to have to go to the hospital if you even survive. So you got to wrap your face up, and I had to shake that stuff off my plant, wrap your nose up. It's everywhere. It's called Pele's hair. This is what it looked like. It's glass. And it shoots it out, and it's for miles. It's covering the ground for miles. My whole camp was with Pele. The only thing saved us is I lived at an altitude where for the clouds to go over the mountain, it got to dump rain. So I lived at the perfect altitude that I ain't got to water my plants, And every time the clouds get there, they got to dump rain. So it rain almost every day, or at least 3, 4, 5 times a week. So the only thing saved up is it rained and washed a lot of it down. If it would have been dry 2 or 3 days, we would have had to go and stay down in the lowland. We wouldn't have been able to stay up there because this shit was dangerous. This is dangerous. It's glass. It shoots little glass needles, thinner than needles. Like one of these, it would take 2 or 3 of these to make it the size of a needle. It's that thin. And it'd be everywhere. It's super dangerous. It's called Pele's hair. The craziest. Hey, man. That's how my consciousness level, when it's like reading Bibles and reading, that's why when I read it, I see something different because I seen for myself. I seen for myself that all this stuff you think is hocus pocus and make believe. Yeah, okay, keep thinking that. Now, up where my boy live, if you go a little bit higher, it's Volcano National Park. And that's where all the tourists and stuff go. If you go to Volcano National Park and you go in the visitor center, there's a section full of notes and lava rocks. And the notes are horrifying. They tell you if you ever go in Hawaii, whatever you do not take one of them lava rocks home. Don't listen, if you go to Hawaii, don't take no rock home. I'm telling you. So if you go up there to the park, there's all these letters and these lava rocks where people mailed them back. And the notes say stuff like this. I want to send this back. I was told not to take no lava rocks. I took this lava rock home. My wife died. My kid died. My mama died. My dog died. I took this lava rock home. My house burnt down. Killed my husband. I swear to God. One dude said, I went to Hawaii, came back, and everything went wrong. My whole life was in shambles. And then he said, one day, I wanted to pack my luggage and just get away. He said, I got my luggage. And he said, when I turned it upside down, he said, this lava rock fell out. I didn't put it in there. It must have got in there by mistake when somebody put their shoes or something. And this is what reason my life. Hey, he said, this is the reason my life. I don't want this. I'm sorry. I took this, take this back. They was asking, tell them the gods to forgive them and all. It's a whole, hey, man, it's a whole bunch of letters and lava rocks people mailed back from all over the world. When they took them home, disaster. I swear to God. And the people that run the visitor center tell you, listen, this is not a joke. Do not take these lava rocks home. They be serious. They say, don't listen, whatever you do not take these rocks home. They be basically pleading with you. Man, you should read them letters, man. They say before you leave, shake your shoes out. Do not take none of this land, these lava, off this island. Your whole life gonna get destroyed. You tell me that shit ain't crazy. Man, that's crazy. You tell me that's not crazy. I'm telling you the facts. Once you get out these cities and you get out in a mystical place like that, Mexico, Hawaii, you gonna see. You might not see on no short vacation. Go live there. So look, we live up in Glenview, right? So you go up the mountain and then you turn up the road and you got to go up 8 roads and turn. Our road's not paved. They only paved one road like every 3 or 4 years. So only the first 2 roads was paved where the people live. So I live on the 8th road. So when you turn on the 8th road, it's a neighbor there, and there's nobody else on that street but me. I'm all the way down. And then when you go to the end, there's a farm with the cows, the ones that ate up my weed, right? So I'm the only one there. So my queen, she'd go down to town to go to the health food store, go do something, buy stuff to cook or whatever. So we sitting up there, we chilling. Me and my boy Kepper, we up there, and my queen's daughter and the dogs. This is crazy. So we sitting there, and I hear a car turn into the subdivision. Then I hear a car flying up the road. And then I hear and it turn on our road. So when I come out, it's our station wagon. And this is a dirt road with rocks. So she's driving fast to the fact she's shooting up rocks and dirt. And she gets to where we at and she hit the brake and it go, right? So I go to the passenger window. I'm panicking. I know something wrong. And she like this. She got the steering wheel. So I go to open the door lock, right? She got the steering wheel like. So I open the door, I'm beating on the window. She petrified. We go to the other side, that door locked, but it's a crack in it. So we, put your hand in there, push it down there, reach in there, unroll it down, and unlock it and go lock the other door. So when I open the other door, she's still like this. She, how you say you turn white? Well, she hadn't turned white, but you could see she was whatever you call it, with no blood run or whatever. She looked pale. And she just holding on to the steering wheel. This goes on for like 8 minutes, which is a long goddamn time. 8, 9 minutes. Finally, it still take me another 2 or 3 minutes to get her to talk. It's nighttime. So I say, what? So this what she say. She say, because we up the mountain. So when you leave down Mountain View and you coming up, it's all uphill. There ain't no traffic lights up here. So if it's a car coming this way, you see their lights. If it's some car behind you, a half a mile back, you see their lights. This is what she said. She said, I was driving up the mountain. There was no cars on the road, right? She said about 1.5 miles back, or 2 miles way down the mountain, there was a motorcycle. Because it's one light. So she said she driving, But she said the motorcycle's gaining speed on her faster than any car. She said even if they were speeding, there's no way they would catch me that fast. So she says it's coming fast, and then she says as it's coming, she said the light getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That one light. So she said as it almost got like what? 3 streets from her, three city streets. The light was so big, it was lighting up the whole forest. And she said it was going real fast. And she was panicking because it looked like it was going to go bam and hit the car. She said it was going as fast as it can. She said, I'm trying to drive faster to stop it from running into the back of me. And it's a big ass light, she said. The way she described the light, it's as round enough to light up a football field. Facts. And then she said it came right up behind the car like that and stopped. And she said, it's bright, I can't see. And it stayed behind her for like 20 seconds, something like that. Then it left. And she was almost home. And that's why she was. The light got bigger and bigger and bigger till it lit up the whole mountain. And she said it came real fast, right up behind the window like that. It stayed up behind the car. And then she was terrified. She was terrified. It scared the hell out of her. I'm thinking, was that? Was it a UFO or what? Then I started thinking, I used to be with the elders because I was black. So the elders, I remember I started thinking about the elders, and one of the elders told me, whatever you do, my brother, if you ever traveling up the mountain with meat, make sure you wrap it with tea leaves. So after a couple of weeks, I thought about that. And I should have asked the elder why. But I started thinking, I'm plant-based. What reason would you have to wrap the meat in tea leaves unless something was going to come and take that meat? So that's what made me think that was probably a dragon. But there was no meat. She was a vegan. So when it got up on the car, there was nothing there to eat or nothing to attack. And it left. Because why did that man tell me, no matter what, if you travel over this mountain at night and you have meat, make sure it's wrapped in tea leaves? Why would he tell me that? Now check this out. So my boy Kemper, he get his books on dragons. So we read and studying on dragons. And come to find out, this white lady wrote this book. I can't find it for nothing. This white lady wrote this book and come to find out, she says a whole bunch of dragons in Hawaii. But this is a book about dragons, so we talk about how dragons like pearls and how dragons go find like sunken treasure ships, and they like to live in treasure ships because they like to sit on the treasures. They like shiny stuff, right? And they like pearls, and they like anything that look like jelly beans. I was thinking, damn, Reagan Reagan used to be obsessed with jelly beans, and his name was Ronald Wilson Reagan 666. So now I'm young. You see how young people, I'm young, I'm saying, Reagan is the devil, right? Because his name, Ronald Wilson Reagan 666, and he always got them damn jelly beans, right? So this some scary. This was probably the scariest I ever been in my life. This is a crazy story. So we drive down one day down to the beach, Black Sand Beach. Boom, we up at the crib. The crib sit like this with our friends, some cribs. And then you down, and then the beach is down there, right? So I'm sitting up there with a bunch of the Rasta stuff. We smoking, we talking, we have a good time. It's evening time. It's about 6 or 7, something like that. So I look in the sky, y'all, and it's a full moon. And it say dragons like pearls. And sometimes you'll see dragons like go at the moon, like be attracted to the moon. I swear to God, this is crazy. So I'm sitting there, the full moon is there, and I see a cloud, and the cloud is shaped exactly like a dragon to the T, and the mouth is open, and the moon is here, and the cloud of the dragon do this. So from y'all side, it's do this, right? So I'm here, I'm telling my friends, I'm like, look, that cloud is a dragon, and that moon looked like a pearl, and dragons love pearls. So all my friends is like, whoa, everybody sees this. You know how hard it is for a cloud to be shaped exactly like a dragon? So boom, it go right past the moon. It fit its mouth and everything. So I'm like, whoa. So it's getting late after that. So I'm like, okay, y'all, we got to go. So if you're on Black Sand Beach, you got to go around, you got to come up to Pahoa. On your way up to Pahoa, before you get to Pahoa, that's where the health food store is. Then you're going to go up to Mountain View, then make a turn, then go up the mountain, and we home. But there's a little spot where there's some steam vents and lava rock. And lava rock, if you know anything about reptiles, if it was a dragon and it got down on lava rock, you wouldn't even see it. So we drive in the car. I'm tripped out over this dragon. We drive in the car. We coming up. The sun's going down. It's getting dark. It's almost dark, right? It's dusk. It's gonna be dark in like 10 minutes. 15 minutes is gonna be dark. There's no light out here. So we drive in the car, and the car get by the steam vents where the steam coming out with the lava, and the car stopped. So when the car stopped, I'm trying to start it, it won't start back up. The sun is getting ready to be pitch black dark. So I get out the car, I look up at the steam vents, and I could feel it was something there. It was something down like this, disguised in that lava. And I could feel the energy. And It was so frightening. I told my queen and my boy, I said, if we don't get out of here before it get dark, in the morning there's gonna be no trace of us. Because if you know anything about lizards, if there's a dragon there, he could just take his tongue out and just grab you. He don't got to get up and do all that. He could just and eat you and bite you. You know what I'm saying? He don't got to, and you ain't gonna see him. I know it was one over there. I know that for a fact. And so it's getting dark, and I'm panicking because I know, why is this car stopping by these steam vents? This is the only place where a reptile can hide. So I get in the car and I try, and it starts. And when the car starts and we drive up, you know the type of energy, you ever get an energy that sound like it's talking? The energy was like, stop talking about me. On my soul. And I told him, I said, I've been talking about this dragon too much. It said, stop talking about me. I didn't talk about it no more until like when I started going live, I bring it up sometime. But I don't talk about it too much no more. Because I believe I chanted them up. Because it ain't no way that cloud just happened and that car stopped by them steam vents. Ain't no way. That ain't no goddamn coincidence. That's a sign. Those two things ain't gonna happen right there like that. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen like that. What's the odds of that? Everybody's seen the cloud. You know how hard it is for a cloud to look exactly like a dragon and for the mouth to be open and go for the pearl for me to see, and I'm the only one know what I'm looking at? Because ain't nobody else gonna know that it like pearls and all that and gonna see. Nobody gonna see that. Why is that happening right here where I'm sitting right there? And then why when I leave my car stop by the steam vents? And I'm telling you, we go to Hawaii. And some of them steam vents, all I can tell you is it's creepy. Especially if it's coming up out the lava. Because the lava just looks like alien territory. For real. On Oahu, they got a spot where you could drive and you could get off road and drive around. And I'm gonna tell you, it looked like you're on another planet over there. It don't look like you on Earth. And when you drive around over there, you could tell. Let me put it like this. All animals have a habitat that they like to live in. And when you look at lava rocks and you think about reptile scales and stuff, and you think about how reptiles are made to hide, they're made to hide in their environment. If you see some of that lava rock in Hawaii, Man, it's the creepiest thing you ever seen. It's creepy. I'm telling you, it's creepy and it's scary. And it's like you're on another planet. It ain't like you on Earth. It's not like you on Earth. I tell you. That's the only time that's the only thing on Earth you're gonna see that you was not gonna feel like you on Earth. That is a fact. And some of the places it look, man, they got a place in the wild when you drive over there. I went one time. I said, let's go see what this like. I never drive back over there again in my life. I never drive back over there. It's like hell or something. It's not like Earth. It's not like Earth. When I went over there, wasn't nobody over there driving either, but my dumb ass. If I drive back around over there, then I seen why. And you got to understand them lava tubes run down under the earth, right? And so there's lava tubes that you can go in and go all the way to another island. They run under the ocean. And when you see some of the area, it look like this. Now imagine a big giant area you have to be driving to see made like this. And it's like this for a mile. It's the creepiest thing you ever seen. I'm telling you, this kind of lava right here and the rocks, man, it's spooky. It's one of the most scariest things you ever see in your life. It looked alien. I kid you not. So once I lived over there, hey, my whole consciousness and reality about life, about what's possible, I said, oh, I get it. We live in the city. And the Trinidadians used to always tell me that. They used to say, man, when you live in the city, you don't see things. They said, boy, but when you come live somewhere like Trinidad, Africa, and things like that, because they told me in Trinidad, they got up one morning and they got a coconut tree that's real high. Nobody never go up in it because it's real high, like a high rise building. And they said they got up one morning and there was a woman up in the top of that coconut tree. She was all skin and bone. She was all bone. She was a skeleton with her clothes on. And they said a word went around Trinidad that she was a witch that only could be out at night, and the sun come up and caught her, and she fell in the tree, and the sun hit her, and she turned the bones up there. Because she said, ain't no way no woman is up in that tree. Because no Rasta would climb that tree, and Rasta climbed all the coconut trees. They said it was a coconut tree that was so high nobody climbed in it. And they said it was a woman skeleton and clothes up there in that tree. And everybody want to know how she get up there. All them stories I heard before I got to Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii, I started thinking about them stories that people told me from Africa, my friends that visit Africa and all that. I started saying, okay, this is real. This is definitely real. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you get to those type of places, like if you go to Oahu, it ain't gonna be there. There's too many people. But if you go like to the Big Island that's isolated, man, listen, ain't no telling what's over there. Ain't no telling what's there. And they got territory like, say it's a cliff, then it goes straight down, and it has no angle where you can walk up or walk down. It's just a straight cliff. And then you look down there, it might be trees and forests and stuff, right? And then it's the ocean. But then the ocean got big old boulders sticking up in the ocean. So nobody can get there from the ocean. And nobody can walk down there. So there's no human down there. Now, if you know anything about bugs, anything like roaches, if roaches is in a house, they go to the area with no traffic. So if you think about creatures, they are going to live where? Where there's no traffic. So places in the United States where there's no traffic, anything might be there. Places in Hawaii where there's no traffic, that's where them type of things live. They live where no people go. And just another thing I learned. You'll be surprised how many places on this planet that no human is go. No human go. No human goes to all these spots on this planet. I'm telling you. There's places where no humans go. And guess what live in them places? All kind of stuff. Oh man, all kind of stuff live on this planet, but they live where we don't go. And it ain't no joke. It's all kind of gods and it's all kind of creatures on this planet. All kind of creatures on this planet. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like in Hawaii, they got some things they call the Menehunes. They some little bitty elves. And you ain't gonna never see them. And you know what the hell they do? All they do is practical jokes. For real. You ain't gonna believe what they like to do is they like to move your stuff and then put it back. I swear to God. They like to move your stuff and watch you look for it and then put it back. I mean, you could take your phone, I swear to God. And anybody why I tell you they real. You could take your phone, you could put it right here. And you could go to the restroom and come back, it'll be gone. And then when it be gone, you be second guessing yourself. It's like, I thought I left my phone. I know I left my phone. So you be looking for your phone, looking for your phone, looking for your phone. 3 or 4 minutes later, your phone be right there. When they towed my car up, push when my boy pushed my car up to the up in the sugarcane field, and we was up there for a while because of they had a big earthquake, and they were scared a tsunami was coming, so they pushed my van in Hawaii up in the sugarcane, and we was up there. I was growing weed up there. I sprouted my plants and up there in the sugarcane, and I'm telling you, them damn Menehunes was up there watching me. You could tell. You could feel them. They was up there. They never interfere. They don't do nothing. But you could tell they there. They real little, like Keebler elves. And they said they can go from island to island because they know the lava tubes. Some lava tubes, you could just go down in them and go under the ocean. The lava tubes go under the ocean. Some of them is in the ocean. They can go in a lava tube and walk to the other island. And they move your stuff. And so hanging around sunrise raised my, but not like Hawaii. Hawaii, like really changed the way, raised my consciousness to like a whole another level, like things that people think is a joke. It's not. It is not a joke. Because I'm sure I've been around some vampires, but Hawaii is the first time I've really had contact with like a real vampire. That's another thing. I seen the real vampire in Hawaii. Kid you not. We was going down to Pahoa. We on the Big Island. We going to Pahoa, right? So we right here. You got to cross the street here and walk down here, and that's the health food store. So we right here. So I see a lady walk in front of the direction of health food store. Now they got the ornament there to block the sun. This was like a white-like woman, but she didn't look like a white person, but she was white. And she got an umbrella, and she trying to stay under the ornament so the sun don't hit her. But she walking like she drunk and everything. And she pale. So I see a catty corner, and out of nowhere, I don't know why, I say to my brethren, hey man, look at that vampire. Look how she trying to keep that sun off of her, right? Now, real talk, I'm over here, she across the street, catty corner. She cannot hear me. She cannot hear me. This ain't like no close street, right? Boom, day over. The next day, we doing a show. We doing a show at some like park or something. So we up there. We don't go on for maybe an hour, half hour, whatever. So I'm in the audience, walking around, meeting the fans and stuff, boo-boo, my friends. I think a band is like playing before us. So I'm standing there. Right? I'm standing there. And when I look, she right there. Man, I looked and that lady was right there staring at me. I don't know this lady. I never said nothing to this lady. And that lady is right there staring at me. On everything. And then she walked off and she just, I don't know where she went. And then I never, ever seen her again, which if you know anything about a little island, you see people, you always bump into people. Never seen her before that, before the health food store thing, and never seen her after she was, when I looked, she was right here. Listen, not here, not here, She was right. When I look, I'm sitting there doing it. I look, whoa, she was right there, this close when I look, looking at me. I swear to God, I just here chilling. And when I look, oh, she never said nothing. Then she began to walk away. And I don't know, I might have turned away and don't watch her walk away, but I looked back, she was just gone. Never seen her again. I told my boy, I said, man, you're not going to believe it. He said, what? I said, you know the vampire we seen yesterday? He said, what? I said, when I looked, she was standing right here. He was like, are you kidding? I said, I swear to God, bro. He said, well, why she do you like that? I said, I don't know. She couldn't hear me. We was across the street. But she knew I knew what she was. She basically let me know, I know you know. She was pale as hell. Who pale like that in Hawaii? And I never seen her before and never seen her again. Never seen her before and never seen her again. But I'm telling you to turn your head and have somebody right here. Nobody does that, bro. I am not exaggerating with how close. It's like, whoa, oh, scared the hell out of me. And she had that dark lipstick. She was pale. And you wouldn't be able to tell her nationality. Real talk. I could not tell you her nationality, like what type of person she was. Swear to God, I couldn't tell you her personality. She was a creature, basically. And I never seen her at the show. She wasn't there for the show or nothing. Now, why she show up that early? The show hadn't even kicked off like that. And in a place like Hawaii, when you do a show, you're going to see everybody. You're going to keep seeing everybody. Now, her, it ain't no way you don't see her again. Never seen her again. Never. Nowhere on the island. Not no more that day for the whole festivity. She wasn't there because I was looking. Where's the creepy chick? Where's the creepy chick? Man, let me tell you something. She didn't look at me. She was right here. Oh, she wasn't looking. I ain't never had no, that wasn't, I wouldn't have considered that looking. No, she wasn't looking. I wouldn't really like eye to eye because when I look, yeah, I mean, she look at me right in my face, but I can't say eye to eye because as soon as I seen her that close eye, whoa, it's eye to the side of the face. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking this way and she right here. It's a whole bunch of people here. It's room. We outside. It's room. Nobody's standing like that behind somebody staring. Nobody's doing that. I got the message. It was like telepathy. It basically, she said, I know, you know. That's what that meant. She let me know, I know, you know. But I'm trying to figure out how she know I know from across the doggone street. She did not hear me say, well, if she did, what kind of hearing she got? This ain't no close street. This is Hawaii, so the street way over there, man. This catty corner street way over there. I said, look at that chick, man. She a vampire. Ain't no way she heard that. I'm not screaming, hey, look at that chick. She a vampire. So how she hear me talk to my boy? I'm standing right next to him. Yeah, it was a warning. It was something like that. But the crazy thing is why me? How she knew what I said. How did she know I knew? And that was the crazy thing about Hawaii. It was all kind of sorcerers out there. It was all kind of witches and warlocks out there. Because it's some kind of like mystical island, right? It ain't like a normal place. So it's all kind of, it's not just warlock and witches and stuff out there. It's also government, highly government. So it's KGB, Mossad, CIA, you know what I'm saying? All of the intelligence agencies is out there. It's creeped out. All the intelligence agencies is out there. All of them. In Hawaii, yeah, it's tripped out. All of the people into like way out knowledge, they all out there. Yeah, it's I don't know now, maybe not now, because you know how things change, but when I was there, I can't really say that now because one thing I know about traveling, things go through phases and change. So I can't say that now. I might go out there now and ain't none of that. But in the 80s, 82, 83, 84, 85, that it was creep. It was fun. It was a lot of nice stuff, but there's a lot of very strange things too. And that's why I learned that when you out in a natural environment and you get out of the city, it's different. Especially you can see everything. You can see everything in the sky. Cause they don't got all them city lights when you go to like the big island. Even Oahu, there's certain places you go at night, you lay down and you look in the sky and you say, I didn't know this much stuff was in the sky. It's just all type of stuff flying around. I tell you something else too. This is real creepy. This was when we was on Oahu. We was at Diamond Head Beach. I never forget it. We was at Diamond Head Beach. And we was laying on the beach. It was a clear night and we laying by the ocean. So a lot of time in your life, we don't never look up because the way our body's made, when we sit down, our body's made to look this way. So I had a thing to lay on, a blanket, and I laid on the blanket by the ocean, and I looked up into space, and I could feel the earth moving to the point it made me nauseous. I had to stop looking on everything. If you think I'm lying, go somewhere where the sky is really clear and lay down by the ocean and look up, and I bet your stomach start turning. You're going to feel the whole gravitational everything. Something about the ocean, being by the ocean, lay down. If you by the ocean and you lay down by the ocean and you look up in the stars, you're going to feel like you're on a roller coaster. It's scary. You know, and I can prove it. I tell you somewhere you get something similar to prove it. I can tell you where you get a similar feeling. If you go to one of these big cities downtown, if you go like downtown Chicago, and if you ever stop and you look all the way up at the top of the buildings, you get dizzy. You get dizzy. You can feel, you can't tell. It's not like laying next to the ocean of Hawaii. So you can't tell you dizzy because you can feel the planet moving. But that's why. That's why you go. Try it. Go downtown where they got tall skyscrapers and stand and look up. I bet you get dizzy. I bet that's why nobody don't be looking up down there. You go downtown, nobody's looking up. Because you can feel it. It's something about them tall buildings help measure the sky, the movement of the sky. You can feel the earth moving, but it ain't like laying by the ocean and looking up in the stars. Well, you lay by the ocean, man. I guess it's the gravity or something. Man, you could feel the earth. You could feel the earth moving. Hey, you're gonna feel the earth. You're gonna feel the earth moving through space. You're gonna know you in outer space. No ifs, ands, and buts. It's gonna freak you out. It's gonna totally freak you out. You're gonna feel it. It's not a good feeling though. You're gonna feel, you're like, oh shit. You're gonna be like, oh, you could feel it. You just got to be in the right place on a clear night. And I guess maybe about the water or something. I don't know. I thought it was because of the water because I ain't never. But then I also thought I don't be looking up. I don't look up. When you think about life, we do not look up. We'll look up like this, but we don't lay back and look straight up. Think about it. How many times in your life outside do you look straight up? We look up at an angle. We look up like this. But looking up like this is not like laying on your back and looking up. That's why our body's made like that. It's made for us. So when we look up at an angle, our body's made for us not to feel the gravitational pull and the earth moving. Think about how we're made. We're made to not look straight up. Your neck cannot look straight up. You have to go all the way back like this. Try it right now. Try to look straight up. I bet you can't. Why did your body made where you can't look straight up? Right now, you can't look straight up. I cannot look straight up. I'm still looking at an angle. Straight up is like right there. And it's very difficult. If you think I'm lying, look straight up. You got to bend your torso and everything. Your neck do not allow you to look straight up. So you never look straight up. Because when you look straight up and you're on the ground, now you're going to be able to feel the earth moving. That's why when you downtown, you get dizzy because you go out your way to look straight up because you're trying to see the top of the building. Other than that, we always looking at an angle. We look up in the sky like this. That's why we never see spacecrafts. Spacecrafts be flying over us all the time. But we always looking this way. We don't ever be looking up. I seen 2 spacecrafts only because I was downtown. Everybody know downtown Chicago, when you go to get on the freeway, right? And you got to go west to get on the Kennedy and all that. And then there's clearing there. There's a clearing there. There's a clearing there. There's no buildings and stuff. And there's a clearing. And I seen spaceships twice there. I seen it one time getting on. I seen it one time getting off. And I'm getting off downtown. What's that, Ohio? You get on that high. You get on the Ohio, the other one Ontario. I forgot which one you get on, which one you get off. But I'm getting off, and it go right through past my windshield. It goes, shh. But the crazy thing about it, I don't know if it was going fast, but it just disappeared really fast. So I was like, did it burn out? It couldn't have been no shooting star because it was too short. And shooting stars don't shoot sideways, do they? So I said, that thing must have been really fast. How it just go and just right when I'm looking at it, just go and it just disappeared. It went right past my windshield. I was at the right angle getting off the freeway, and it went right past my windshield. What the hell was that? You can't even see what it is. All you see is a light. Can't be no shooting star. Don't no shooting star shoot crossways that low. So what the hell is that? Shooting stars way up there. No, this was down in our atmosphere. And I was at the right angle where I could see it at the top of my windshield. It was gone. I said, damn. I seen it twice over there. I seen 2. One getting off the freeway and one going to get on. Over there where the buildings is clear at. There's no buildings over there. It's a clear spot. I've seen them twice over there. When I used to drive Uber, I said, damn, what the hell was that? There's a lot of extraterrestrial stuff out here. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The cities are designed to hide it. So you live in the city, you ain't going to see it. But man, when you get out in the woods, because when I went to Mexico, that's when we seen the spaceship, but it was way up in the space. I never forget that too. I was with King OG and then we went to Mexico. We went to Agua Caliente. And I wake up in the morning at 10, I come up, I look in the sky, I see a spacecraft. But it's way up. Not like how you see a spacecraft. It's up in the stars, but you can see it moving through the stars. So I'm panicking. I'm like, y'all, come, look, it's a spaceship, it's a spaceship. I'm panicking because I don't want to be the only one to see it. So OG came out and I'm a Neefu and them and they looking and I'm pointing, they like, where? So I'm panicking. And then finally OG said, oh, I see it right there. Then somebody else said, I see it. I was relieved. I was like, oh. You know, that's great. I was only happy somebody else seen it. I did not want to be the only one to see that spaceship. I didn't want to be the only one. So once everybody seen it, then I didn't care about it no more. If nobody else would have seen it by me, it probably would have been messing with me still today. Man, I was so glad somebody else seen that. I swear to God, I was hoping it didn't go away for nobody else to see. I did not want to be the only one to see that thing up there, flying up there. But it was up in the stars. It was moving too. And it sure wasn't no shooting star, not the way it was moving. It was moving, and it was moving like that. It was gone. It was turning and shit. The shooting star just going to shoot straight. That thing was moving and it was going, And I'm saying, if it's that far away and it covered that much space, that thing is flying. That's a lot of space it carry for me to be this far. That thing just went probably thousands of miles in that little bit of time down there in Mexico. You know, for me, plant-based, all this stuff was by accident. I wasn't looking for nothing. The main thing that put me on a lot of knowledge was just going to Hawaii out there in the middle of the ocean. Because you understand, Hawaii is the only place in the world surrounded by that much water. There's nowhere else in the world that got that big of a circumference of water. Everywhere else is closer to something than that. It's in the middle of the ocean with the widest circumference of water. And when you get out there in the middle of that ocean on Hawaii and you see all that water, it's just different. And then I used to go down to the docks and hang out with the fishermen. If you ever get to be around fishermen that fish on the ocean, now the two people that see the most stuff is fishermen that fish in the ocean and pilots that fly planes. They see a lot of stuff. So I used to go down to Hawaii and sit down with the fishermen. And the fishermen would be telling me all kind of stories. I remember the one fisherman, he told me, he said, when you be out there fishing, they got these females. I forgot, sea witches, he called them. They got these sea witches. And he said some of them, they'll swim up by the ship and they make this sound. And he said this sound hypnotizes some of the sailors and fishermen. And if you ain't careful, you'll jump in the water and you'll never be seen again. They like make this hypnotic sound to make men jump in there. Then he said they got these other ones. And he said, sirens, yeah. He said they got these other ones. And he said they can make a whole mirage. So they could be like a beautiful woman on an island and they be beckoning you. He said, but ain't none of that there. Yeah, he said they got the power to make an image. And they be beckoning them sailors to come on that island. And ain't no island there or nothing. And she look real beautiful, but when they get there, she's super ugly like a monster. And they be talking about creatures they caught and they had to throw it back out to sea. Yeah, they say they catch creatures sometimes when they pull it in, they got to throw it back out to sea. It be some creature that nobody never seen. Yeah, the fishermen. Hey man, the fisherman stories is crazy. They be yeah. El Cool J, they be catching some. Hey, Now, their stories will blow your mind. All kind of alien-looking fishes and creatures and stuff. Like in Hawaii, they got the Forbidden Island. And on that island, they say they out there doing scientific experimentation and they make these big ass people. They call them mokes. And they real big. Bigger than Samoans and Hawaiians. Like big old monsters. And that's the Forbidden Island. And they say, you better not go out there. Now, they saying, no, that's not true. Da 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 da. Yeah, they unalived the TikToker because he recorded. Yeah. But they got the Forbidden Island out there. And they making like people out there, like these big old dudes. They supposed to be super big. But it's forbidden to go to that island. But they saying, no, that's not true. The Forbidden Island is not really that. But you can't go out there. You better not go out there on that island. Everybody in Hawaii know not to go. And I seen two of them. I seen two of the mokes. I seen them. They don't look. I seen them. It's a guy out there, I think, that worked with the CIA, and he had two of them with him. They don't look human. They super big. You'll see why they call them mokes. They don't look human. They these real big things. Like some real big, they built crazy. They don't look like Samoans or Hawaiians. They look like another, and they huge. And I seen the dude that I believe was agent with two of them. They risk is like, you know what I'm saying? And they were saying this dude, he was a CIA agent. He hated me out there because I didn't like him. I knew he. I could tell. I said, this guy is some government. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of government. It's Russians out there, Germans, a whole bunch of top government agents in Hawaii. A whole bunch of them. That's a strange ass place. I tell you that. If you don't believe in strange stuff, go live in Hawaii 3, 4, 5 years. Go to the Big Island, especially. It's gonna make a believer out you for sure. You're gonna be different if you go out there. You definitely gonna be different. And you look at that ocean, and it's like anything could be in there. It's creepy as hell out there. There's a whole bunch of wizards and warlocks out there, and fairies and elves and all type of weird shit out there. And the way the landscape is, you'll never see it. It's the way Hawaii is made. You'll never see that stuff. You'll never see that stuff. Them islands is weird as hell. That's why they try to keep you on the tourist strip. They try to keep you stay right here on the tour. They try to keep you on the tourist strip. They do not want you out there exploring. Not to mention the nuts out there. Not to mention the nuts and the crime. You can't just go in them bushes. You're going to step on something and the shotgun going to blow your face off. It's all kind of booby traps, shotgun booby traps, all type of stuff. You do not go off trail in Hawaii. The missing persons list in Hawaii is unbelievable. They say the aliens are in the water. Yes, yeah, that too. That's where they land at. They go straight in the water, boom, and they take off out the water. But it's all kind of creatures on this planet, man. Man, it is some weird things on this planet. That's for sure. And there's areas on this planet where man cannot go. And there's holes and crevices and stuff where ain't no telling what live in there. I'm telling you straight up. Ain't no telling what live or nothing. You know, one day I was sitting in the tarp, right? And I'm sitting out there. I got a green tarp over my head. I'm sitting, and I hear, ew, 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 ew. So I can't look up because the tarp over my head, but I can see. So I'm looking on the ground, and I see the shadow of a little bird, right? I see his shadow, and he going, ew, ew, ew. I see his shadow going that way. Then I see a big ass shadow like that come behind him. It was huge. I said, oh, it's a big bird trying to kill that little bird, right? The next day, I'm sitting in the same spot. It's a tree right there in front of my face with no top on it. Just the tall tree out the ground is broke off flat. That big bird, he came, he landed right on the top of that tree, and he looked at me like this. The next day, that bird that was chasing that little bird, it was a hawk. It came, it landed right there and looked at me. And I'm telling you something, they look in your eyeballs. So when they say a bird's eye view, they not kidding. That thing looked in my eye, directly at me in my eyeballs. It landed and it looked at me like this. It didn't blink. It didn't turn its head. It looked, stared me right in my eyeballs. It looked at me. Let me show you how long it looked at me. Ready, go. Then it flew off. Then it flew off. Yeah. He was like, the rabbi guy's like, I heard you talking when I was going to kill that bird. You the one see me going to kill that bird. Oh my soul. It freaked me out so much I went to the Hawaiian, the old Hawaiian that I went to about advice, the black Hawaiians. Because they used to take me in because I was black. So I went to the black Hawaiian elder because it freaked me out so much. And he said, my friend, hey, wait. I said, I got to talk to you. He said, what? I said, yesterday, I heard a little bird go. I told him the whole story. And I looked, I seen the shadow of a big old bird. And I said, today he came and he landed on a tree and he stared at me. He said, did he stare at you for a long time? I said, yes. He said, oh, he blessed your land. I said, you kidding? He said, no, he blessed your land. He accepts you as one of the jungle people. I said, are you kidding me? He said, no. He tripped me out because he said, did he stare at you for a long time? I said, yeah. He said, like over a minute around. I said, yeah. He said, oh, okay. He blessed your land. I said, are you kidding? He said, no. He looks at you as like family, somebody that live out there. What he told me. He said, yeah, I think he said like a 3 mile, 3 or 5, he said a 3 mile radius of where I'm at, he owns that bird, that bird owns a 3 mile radius. No other hawk can hunt. I think he said in that 3 or 5 miles. He might have said 5 miles. I think he said 5 because it was a lot. He said you were in his 5 mile radius where he hunt at. He said any other hawk got to be over the next 5 mile radius or they fight to the death. He said you live in his hunting territory. That's just his property. He owns the property because he's in the sky. So he owns all that below him. I started thinking about Egypt. I said, dang, he like that. He like Haru. He like, yeah. You was one of his people living in his territory. I said, wow. He said, yeah, he wanted to come. He came let you know. What's up? You know what I said? I was sure the vibe. It was gangster. It was real gangster, though. It was gangster. I ain't gonna lie. The way he looked at me, my interpretation, he was like, I heard you. Yeah, he was like, I seen you see me kill that bird, catch that bird and eat him. And the vibe was, when he flew there and looked at me, the vibe was he had been already watching me. Like he been watching me for a minute, maybe 20 or 30 minutes from another tree. I swear to God. He didn't just fly over there and fly there. He was out. He been watching me. Probably been watching me since after he killed that bird. So he flew from another tree where he watching me to where he could see me in my eyeball. He didn't just fly to my area and land there. No, he was over there. He was over there watching me already. So my vibe was like, he been watching me for a while. He know my voice. Because I said, oh, shoot. So he know my voice. So he came back and like he was watching me somewhere. You're not going to see them. But then he came and introduced himself. But the way he introduced himself, it was real gangster though. I ain't gonna lie. They eyeballs is some of the most powerful things on this planet. That bird looked in my eyeballs, not in the whites of my eyes. The stare is crazy. This is why the Egyptians used to train them to pull people's eyeballs out. You know they'll fly and snatch your eyeballs out your head. You know that, right? A hawk will pull your eyeballs out your head. And that is there in the black in my eyeball. It didn't blink. It was like oh. And he was just looking at me. He just looked at me like this. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God, it was gangster. Hey, he looked at me like this. You the one who heard me kill that bird. So he was looking at me. And I didn't take my eye off him. I felt like it was disrespect. So I didn't do this. I just did that. You know what I'm saying? The vibe I got was don't look away, you know? If I probably would have looked away, that probably would have showed fear. That probably would have showed fear, disrespect, huh? I don't know. But some told me, don't look away. Stare at him back. You know what I'm saying? I just was out in the woods. I was just living natural. The Most High told me, do not blink and stare. Look at him the same way he's looking at you. Don't blink. Don't talk. Eyeball to eyeball. So I looked at him eyeball to eyeball. And it was a long time, and we don't be staring like that. But hey, man, that thing is scary. When them birds open their wing and fly, they huge, bro. And that thing just stared at me, man. Landed at me the next day. Cause I told a Hawaiian holy man, I said, he stared at me for like a minute and a half. Because he asked me, he said, did he stare at you? I said, yeah. He said, but how long? I said, like a minute and a half. He was like, oh, he knew everything. He said, oh, he blessed your land. You one of the family. So I was like, so he was saying hi. He was like, not really, not hi. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I was like, was he saying hi? He was like, not really saying hi. You know what I'm saying? He was, because I had been living up there for a minute. But the whole thing is what he was saying is like, he covered so much territory that he might not have been right there where I'm at. He might be over there, over there, over there. I'm in the territory. See what I'm saying? So that's the way he kind of explained it to me. Like, well, it's like a 5-mile radius he got. So some kind of way you got his attention, or kind of like that was the vibe. So he came kind of like come to see who live in there. But one thing they told me all the animals gonna like me because I don't kill animals. And the Trinidadian brothers told me that too. All the animals in the forest liked me. No animals, like I had a white friend and a mongoose ran in his tent and stood up and said, and then snatched his chicken or whatever and go. And they used to terrorize them and tear up their tent and tear up their food. But the mongoose never come in my camp. And all of the animals, none of them came in my camp. But when I used to eat my sweet potatoes or stuff like that, I would throw the stuff over there and they would eat it. So I was feeding them. But I wasn't throwing down trash. I was throwing down food. So they all could eat and they didn't have to come into my territory. They eat out there. I tell you something else too. This is tripped out. So I lived up in the rainforest. So I never paid attention to the forest noise because I was like a forest animal myself. So I never really paid attention there was noise in the forest. So the first time I paid attention, one night we up there, everything just went silent. But I never had paid attention that it was making noise in the first place. I didn't pay attention until everything went silent. And it was like something's up there. So I grabbed the gun and the nunchucks. Everything, the crickets or whatever animals, I wasn't paying no attention that they was making noise. That's how much of a wild man I was. That the noise that the animals making, I wasn't even aware of it. It was just my environment. But I never forget the night where everything stopped. That's the first time I realized they was making noise in the first place. It just got quiet. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I said, it's something up here. As the first time I realized they was making noise. And the whole forest went quiet. I was like, oh, y'all been making noise. I'm used to it. But whatever it was, I don't think it came close enough because I had 3 dogs and they would have went. But everything just shut up. I never forget that. I was like, wow. It's comfortable with me here, but if something else come up here, it ain't comfortable. It was deep. You know what I'm saying? I was a part of the jungle. I was like a wild man up there. Hey, we had a tree. It had a hole in it. And then some yellow jackets lived in there. I didn't ever pay no attention to them. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, I was like a wild man. So I didn't pay attention to their crib. Right? So one day we was moving a big log and I was moving backwards and my brothers moved forward and the back of the log hit the tree where the yellow jackets live. So the yellow jackets came out and stinging me. Now this is the crazy thing. The yellow jackets might have stung me about 5 or 6 times. And nothing happened. It didn't do nothing. And I always said that was because of all the guavas. I lived in a guava forest. So I was eating guavas, which is high in vitamin C. So I believe I ate so many guavas that when the yellow jacket stung me, it didn't make no bump. It only stung. It didn't hurt. Nothing. That's crazy in itself. But I got mad because I'm like, hey, man, this is my jungle. I'm the king over here. So I told the neighbor all the way down on the end, I said, I got yellow jackets. How I'm finna get rid of these yellow jackets. She said, you can't get rid of them yellow jackets. You got to call the city. Nobody can get rid of the yellow jackets. I said, I'm Big Pharaoh. I'm the king of this jungle. The yellow jackets' ass is out here. They never should have stung me, right? So I'm like, all right, we're going to see. So my dumb ass, I went to the health food store. I bought a big bag of cayenne and a big bag of garlic powder, right? And I wrapped myself up and I went and I threw a big old bunch of garlic powder and a big old bunch of cayenne pepper in their hole where they live at. So it went down in there and got all on them. I said, I bet y'all move now. Playing with me. Stop playing with me, right? But They was flying out. You should have seen them flying out with powder all over them. They was flying out with powder and stuff on them. So the activity slowed down. But after like a day or two, they was back in and out. I said, oh. They was back in and out. And their whole house looked messed up because their house was red and off-white on the tree where I had do all the, it looked like the ghetto, right? So their crib looked messed up. Their crib looked messed up because the outside looked tore up like somebody spray painted and stuff because it was garlic powder and cayenne pepper all on their crib. But they ass was like, the hell with you, boy. We yellow jackets. They was like gangbanging, right? So I was like, oh, okay. All right. I got lanterns. Let me get the kerosene. So I got the kerosene, boy. I got the kerosene. Took the kerosene, like put it in a balloon or something, put it in something, and I threw the kerosene in their crib. Then I threw a match in there. I think I dumped the kerosene. I think I squirted a bunch of kerosene in their crib, and then I threw a match in there inside the tree, and it say, "Poof." And then they was flying out on fire. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have videoed it. Hey, listen, that lady tell me you can't get rid of no yellow jackets. Lady, you crazy, this big Pharaoh. Hey, I dumped the kerosene in there and threw a match in there. Fool! Fire was coming out the hole of the tree, and they was flying out on fire and dropping. Yeah, 2 days later, no yellow jackets. Yeah, they was dead and they was black jackets. Their jackets was black. And that was my crib now. They was gone. You should have seen them flying out on fire. They was looking at me like, you too much. You bogus. Oh, they were flying out on fire. It was something else to see all them yellow jackets flying out on fire. Boy, stop playing me. I told you, get y'all goofy ass out of here. Y'all should have stung me. I should have got a pass. Y'all got to go. Then after that, every time a yellow jacket would even come over there, because yellow jackets bogus, they do this. This yellow jacket, he'll fly up and he wants you to get out of his way. Yellow jacket's crazy. So this is what they do. They fly up and then they do this. Move. Yeah. If you standing somewhere and a yellow jacket fly up, he be like, move. And he do this. They'll sting you. He start out slow and he go faster and faster, and if you don't move, he sting you. So after they stung me that one time, it was all the way up. So I got rid of all them, but every now and then one would show up and he would come, he would go, do, I pop, stomp. You know what I'm saying? Don't swerve on me, punk. You know what I'm saying? So every time a yellow jacket would fly up to me and be like trying to intimidate me, as soon as he go 1, 2, 3, stomp, punk. What's wrong with you? Boy, you's a little ass yellow jacket. I'm man. You got me effed up. So I just started swatting him, stomp him, swat him, stomp him. Boy, get your ass out. Hey, look, I got another good story. So I had these baby plants. I'm sprouting the marijuana plants. And the ants, like the babies, they come chop off they come chop them off and they laying down. So I had them under a tarp. I had them under a mosquito net. So I had these big things with all the babies in there, and then I had mosquito nets covering it, right? But you know how ants is, that's not gonna stop ants from crawling through. I'm not expecting ants. I'm trying to get rid of Snails. So with snails, you just get some cups and put some beer in it, and the snails crawl in the beer and drown. You got to worry about them. But the ants came. So I woke up one day, the ants done, hey man, the ants done came and done bit like 50 or 100 babies in half. They land, because they like everything like weed. What I can tell you. So the ants like the babies. They like to eat the stems of the baby. They don't like the leaf, but they like that stem. So they done chop. I come back, they done chop my stuff down. I see the ants coming in and out. Well, they done made a whole army. We finna eat up all your stuff. For sure, I'm the king of the jungle. So I get mad. I'm like, oh, okay. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. So boom, I go, military. I put on my camouflage. I follow the ants. You know what I'm saying? I follow the ants. There you go, eating them. There they go. There go their little trail. So I follow their trail. And they trail, they go back, and it's a whole bunch of them, right? So this is where they live at. They coming from over here trying to eat up all my stuff. Okay, y'all super bogus. Boy, we finna gangbang. So boom, I go. I go to their crib with the shovel. I dig up their whole crib, right? I dig up their whole crib, and I take the ants, and I put the ants in a big old, like 5-gallon thing of water. And I fill it with the ants and put the top on it. So I drown like about 50,000 ants in the thing. And I let them stay in there a couple days till they were super dead. I made dead ant juice. And then I went and I took that dead ant juice with them dead ants and I poured it around my growth spot. I made a border of dead ants. Boy, you know, I had to be crazy. I was only 20-something. Who think like that? So the next day I get up and I go look. And the ants is coming again and they walking up to the dead ant border and they looking at them. And they turning around. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this the dead ant. No, dead ants over here, right? I swear to God, the ants. I had a boy made a border of dead ants. I swear to God. If I'm lying, I'm dying. You cannot make this up. When the ants came, I watched them. They came up to all them dead ants, and they was like, oh, shit. Don't go over there. Ants die. I was like, ants die over here. Yeah, I was like, listen, ants die over here. I had an ant graveyard border, and they never came back. They went and told everybody, don't go over there. Yeah, they got Timmy, Bobby, John, Peter, Sally, Sue. Yeah, everybody. They got the whole clan over there. You know what I'm saying? They never came back. It was like voodoo to them. You know what I'm saying? That was like, don't go over there. Dead ants over there. Don't go over there. They did not come back. When I poured that dead ant soup around, man, and I watched them. Because I'm in the jungle. I got all the time in the world. I watched them. They walk up to it. They'll look at it. And usually ants will take their dead and take them back and bury them or whatever they're going to do with them. They didn't touch them. They just looked at them. And then you could see they was communicating. And they stopped coming. It was like, don't go over there. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to them too. Yeah. Look, ants die over here. Y'all told the ants. Ants die over here, boy. This is where ants die. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Don't come on. This is the ant graveyard. They didn't come back. So I dug up some more. I kept a big old jug of ant repellent, ant body juice. Every now and then I'll put some fresh ant body juice. They lucky I didn't go dumping on their crib playing with me. If they'd have kept playing with me, I would have went and poured it on their crib. Yeah, I would have had to make a move. Y'all got to move over 8 trees over. Yeah, y'all got to go over 8 trees over there. It's safe over there. 8 trees over there. You can't even be over here if you keep playing. I didn't have to do them dirty because they stopped playing. Stop playing with me. But everything like herb. Everything. The pigs, the birds like it when it makes seeds. The ants like it when it's baby sprouting. The snails like to crawl on it and dog it. Oh my God, the police want it, the thieves want it, everybody. You know, I slept outside. So one time I'm out there asleep. I hear chomp, 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 chomp. I wake up, I look over here, my patch over there. It's like 4, 5 cows over there. Dude all the way at the end and across, he a cattle rat. He got cattle. His cows coming down because I had a patch that was pulled out the ground. I thought the rippers had got it. But no, it was his cows. I wake up, it's 4 or 5 big cows just chewing my plants up. And I'm like, go, go. And you know, cows is big, so they looking at me like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want them to stampede me. So how do you make cows shoo? You know what I'm saying? I can't make the cows shoo, they big. So I'm trying to say, hey, go, go. And they chewing like, what are you talking about, go? And these females too, they bogus. This ain't no bull. But finally I kept saying something and they left. They didn't come back. But it wasn't nothing to come back to right there. They had ate that whole patch up. I said, get y'all ass out of here. Yeah, they was looking at me like, what is you talking about? And I'm like, go, get from over here. Whatever. They like, bro, we big as hell. So I was a little nervous because I didn't want them to charge at me because they will. They'll run at you and run you over. They'll stampede your ass. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what an animal will do if you scare it. They chewed up a few more and left. They stomped that whole crop out. You know what I mean? All right, Troy. They stomped the whole crop out. Everybody wants your stuff out there. So look, that's what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. I'm going to do more extraterrestrial stuff. We talk about some space beings and stuff like that next time. Y'all stay positive. You feel me? All the time.